Hey YouTube, it's Mountain View Prepping here. So I was just watching a video on YouTube on the inside the house, getting ready for hunting season tomorrow. 'Cause tomorrow's opening day of deer season rifle, bear, which is honestly super cool. But you're looking at my backpack here with some of my clothes that's got to go outside and get aired out right inside my garage doors. But long story short, this person that I was just watching, and getting back to the original reason why I started this channel, actually, me and my wife started this channel, uh, was because he's got over 100,000 subscribers, and I watched him with a bug out bag video where his water bottle was disgusting. I wouldn't even feed that to, I'm gonna say my dogs, because I wouldn't even think about feeding that to my dogs. On top of that, the stuff that was in there, honestly, I think it's just ridiculous. First of all, he's kind of in the area that we're in, meaning he has one location up north, one, we'll say, down south. And if you're up north, you can't store water. I don't agree with this entire bug out bag thing. First of all, where are we going? Where are you going to go? Well, out into the woods in the middle of nowhere and try to survive with what you can carry on your back, even if you have a family of 3, 4, 5, 6 people. How much are you going to carry with you? Think about the entire process of doing that. Where are you going to sleep? What are you going to use for blankets and shelter and food? And how are you going to cook your food? Start a fire? Okay, well, that's great. Yeah, we can start a fire. But where I live in, we'll say, northeast Pennsylvania, it rained for the last 3 days. You're not finding anything out there dry to even try to start a fire. You're going to spend more of your time trying to figure that out than you can actually survive. I'm a firm believer of bug in, not out, for the simple reason of, at least if nothing else, what you have is your home. You know what it's all about, as far as you know how long it takes to cool off. You know how long it takes to heat up. You also know how to defend it. You also know what you have. You don't have to worry about backpacking anything out of here or in here. You might need some things as far as like water. Okay, that's inevitable. But like for my own circumstances, I have a lake. That's just my big old labradoodle right there. But I have a lake that's the end of the street. It's literally like 500 feet away. And then I have 3 other lakes that are in my community that I live in that are less than a mile away in any direction I pick. So getting back to the original reason why we started this channel is I've watched plenty of these prepping channels, and that's a little dog, sorry. Uh, the stuff that I see on these channels is just mind-boggling. People are listening to these people and kind of like taking it like as like gospel. You want to try to do what they're doing and I don't say compete, but keep up with and all of this stuff. And I, thinking everything's getting misled doesn't make sense to me. Because how does somebody who has over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube for a prepping channel have moldy, nasty water in the wintertime when he's up north, not down south, but up north, and it's half frozen, and he's got this camo bag. Okay, great. I don't want to say go you, but go you. And some granola bars and some oatmeal in there. Well, again, it was born tonight, it wasn't last night. Anybody could figure this out. But what we don't need to do is listen to the rest of the hype that's included with these other channels, meaning his and a bunch of other ones, and then try to compete or keep up with this. I don't want to say we're not building rockets here, but we're literally not building rockets. Nobody knows their house better than themselves. Nobody does. There's, I'm going to say, no reason for anybody to have to bug out unless literally something happens inside your house. There ain't no reason to leave it. You have the best shelter. You purchased that house. That is the best shelter. You had no problems with purchasing in the house, probably for an astronomical amount of money, and living in it with your family. Why would you leave it? Just, again, mind-boggling. Now, if you're going from point A to point B, do I agree with the fact that you have a bag in case something happens within those, whatever, 1 mile, 2 miles, 100 miles, 50 miles, whatever, to get you there and back? That I agree with. I don't call it a bug out bag. I call it a transportation bag. That's the way I like to word it. Because, like, my brother lives 2 miles from here. Do I have stuff in my truck? Now, 2 miles is nothing that's easily walkable. But if I left here and I was thirsty and or hungry, I was going to go there to eat, just say, and drink something. Do I think you should have a couple water bottles, a Life Straw, and whatever in that bag, and some snacks? Yeah, that'll get me from me to him and or me back. The furthest I'm going to be is 1.9 miles away, and I can turn around and come back home. Well, I could do that, still being hungry and still being thirsty. Now, if I was going to drive 100 miles, but I'm going to a certain location, I don't know anybody who hops in their car and is just like, well, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going to head west. I'm sure people do that. But at this time and age, and I just don't see why you would do that. And if you do, okay, that's great. But these bug out bags and all this other stuff, I don't agree with them. Because of what they call it, the crap's hitting the fan, it's hitting it. Like, it's coming. You see something possibly could happen. If you're hopping on an airplane and you're going to go over to, I'm just pulling Italy, I don't know why, because I have no interest in going there, but you're going to go to Italy. You're not going to pack enough stuff with you to be able to get back because there's no way to do that. If I was going to go on my fishing trips, which is upstate New York, salmon fishing, again, it's the same thing. I have enough to survive there for the 5 to 7 days I'm going with. If I get there and then it happens, okay, I could see that. But if I think something's going to happen before I go, I'm just either A, not going to go, or B, might boost up the preps a little bit, or whatever. But to drive around with a backpack in your truck every day, unless you're going back and forth to work. Now, when you're going to work, just say you work a mile from your house. In the wintertime, you can't leave your backpack with your water and your food and everything else in your truck, your car, your SUV, your electric car, whatever you have. Don't leave it in there. When you go to work with your work bag or your lunchbox or whatever you carry, I mean, I carried pretty much all of those, bring it in with you, meaning into work, and then bring it out with you. Like, it's just, to me, like a no-brainer. But when I see somebody who has over 100,000 subscribers, and his bug out bag is literally, not a lie, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. It makes no sense to me. Totally just, I call it BS, is what I call it. And I've seen other big channels out there that it's honestly just ridiculous and insane. It's about the money for them, and it's about just to have the title and everything else. Like, you know what a title is? They said, you can call me whatever you want. That doesn't matter. It's literally ridiculous. The entire thing. Literally pay attention to them. Email them. Ask them, what do you have in your bug out bag? Is that the new going trend in the code word, I guess, or whatever, for a backpack to get you back and forth to wherever you're going? Ask them what they do with those. They're like, well, I'll leave it in my truck. Well, what is that going to do for you? What happens if it's in your truck? And I was there for this, but just call it 9/11. Down 100 floors, your car's sitting out there. with your bug out bag in it, but you're up there and you can't get down to get down. What good does that do for you? What happens if you live in a 2-story house and your bug out bag's in your truck and something happens where you can't get down to go get that bag? You know what that is? It's a waste of time, energy, money, all of that stuff. If you don't have it with you all the time, it's completely useless. Completely useless. Just what I'm saying is pay attention to these channels that they're trying to sell you something and trying to get you to do this and do that. Is a bug out bag a good thing to have? Absolutely. But if it's not with you, as in like when you come into your house, bring it in your house. When you get into your car, take it with you in your car. When you get out at work, take it with you to your desk, to your office, to wherever it is that you're working. Like I used to work in, we'll say, maintenance. So I would get out of my truck, go into a building, and then get into another truck, and then that's what I would use all day. If that bag is still sitting in my truck to where I can't get to it, you know what that actually is? Waste of time, waste of money. It does me no good. I'm literally with what I have on my person. That doesn't accomplish anything. Well, the little guy over here, we went pheasant hunting, so he finds the feathers, and then he does all this crazy stuff with it. And then the big ones over here, they're, I don't want to say contaminating my hunting stuff, but they're all about the hunting stuff. But again, just pay attention to what these big channels are putting out and what they're trying to sell you. First of all, nobody should be selling you anything. You know what you need to do is they should be telling you what they have in their bags and giving recommendations. You figure out what you want. If you only have a $30 budget, you might go get a couple $1 knives, a couple books of matches from the local deli or whatever, and guess what? There's a start. Now, if you want to upgrade this and upgrade that and upgrade this, that's fine. Pick and choose where you want to get it from, when you want to get it, and when you can get it. That's the most important part. Have something, and then build from there. That's all. So again, sorry for the rant, but it literally just blew my mind, and it honestly aggravated me. It did. And I'm not going to call the person out by name. I'm not going to do that because it was just literally ridiculous. And anybody who's actually, I don't want to say actually a prepper, but you know what I'm saying? The people that are actually the people that are preppers will know exactly who I'm talking about with what I just said. Just watch and don't get taken advantage of. Don't buy all these crazy stuff. It's not worth it. You could do this with what you have in the means you have and to build from there. I'll get more into the prepping aspect. I'll show you my bug out bag, which literally was purchased at dollar stores, Walmart, very, very cheap. That backpack right there was my original bug out bag. That was my original one I actually got from my friend. It's a military, I got the big old Fufalina in there. It's just an old military canvas bag. It got holes, little pinholes and everything else. And you know what? I packed a bunch of stuff in there. And for what? Because in the wintertime, you can't store water. You walk around with a life straw. What are you going to do with it? Chip through ice? Now you need an axe or some way to drill through ice. Like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Now, if it's inside my house and then I get into my truck, that water's never going to freeze. And I'm going from point A to point B. Okay, now, if something happens in point A to point B, then I have the option or find a way to stop that from freezing. That works. Putting 30 gallons of water in my truck tonight is not going to accomplish anything for me because it's going to drop down to 30 degrees tonight. It's going to be frozen by the morning. What is that going to do? They say, oh, get a canteen with a metal cup. Okay. Well, how do I get the water in a plastic canteen into that metal cup to be able to defrost that? Again, just think about it logically. Well, I think that's enough for the rant for tonight. I got to get ready for opening day of rifle season tomorrow. And like I said, it's not about the money. It's about the common sense. So that's what I'm going to keep bringing to you guys. So please like, comment, subscribe, share this with everybody, anybody you know. I do appreciate everything you guys have done so far because we're already in the 200s, which is insane. I never thought this would even come close to that, but it has. And I do appreciate that. And please comment on the videos. It does help. And honestly, besides my wife, is the only one that's ever commented. I get 2 comments on all my videos, which is not that many, but 2 comments. And that both came from her. So please comment and, like you said, subscribe, share, the whole 9 yards. And if you have any questions, reach out. I'll tell you what my opinion is, and obviously you know opinions. Everybody's got one and they all stink. But again, see you on the next video. Wish me luck tomorrow. Going out there for opening day. We're going to try to fill that freezer, which I want to show you the mess of my garage, but it's right there. If we can get that thing filled up, that would be awesome. But all right, ran over. So please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.